Have you ever wondered if Apple, a brand synonymous with high-end, premium products, could offer something for the budget-conscious? In a world where sleek MacBook Pro models start at over $2,000, and even the more affordable MacBook Air hovers around $900, the idea of a budget-friendly MacBook seems almost like a contradiction. But imagine this, a MacBook that's surprisingly affordable, yet still delivers that signature Apple experience. Could this dream device actually exist? It seems like it's only a matter of time before Apple enters the world of budget laptops, especially considering the pressure from competing brands like Windows and Chrome OS, which dominate the budget market. But before we dive into the possibility of an entry-level MacBook, let's take a moment to look at the current MacBook lineup, so we can better understand where a potential MacBook SE would fit in. At the top of the ladder, Apple offers the MacBook Pro in 14-inch and 16-inch models, powered by their ultra-powerful M4, M4 Pro, and M4 Max chips. These laptops are performance beasts, designed for those who need serious power for video editing, music production, and other resource-intensive tasks. Then, we have a MacBook Air, available in 13-inch and 15-inch sizes, with a newer M3 chip. These are the laptops that many users opt for if they want something more portable, with impressive performance, but without the high price tag of the Pro models. The MacBook Air now comes with configurations of up to 16 gigabytes of RAM. But here's the thing. Apple's most affordable MacBook, the M2 MacBook Air, starts at $999. Sure, there are educational discounts, and occasionally you might catch a retail deal that brings it down to about $800. But still, that's a hefty price for many, especially if you're someone just looking for a reliable laptop for everyday tasks like browsing the web, taking notes, or streaming content. This raises the obvious question. Why hasn't Apple introduced an even more affordable option? What if they created a MacBook that's just $700 or even lower? Now, let's imagine what a MacBook SE could look like. For Apple to create a budget-friendly laptop, they would likely need to sacrifice a few high-end features to keep costs low. But don't worry, this wouldn't mean the end of the Apple experience. Instead, we could see a more affordable laptop that still has the performance and design that Apple is known for. We could expect a chipset like the M2 or M3, possibly a bin version with fewer cores to keep the price down, but still powerful enough to handle day-to-day tasks. With 8 gigabytes of RAM and 128 gigabyte storage option, the MacBook SE would be plenty functional for someone who just needs a basic laptop. Apple might reuse an existing chassis to save on manufacturing costs. And who knows? We could see the return of an old fan favorite, a revamped version of the 12-inch MacBook that was originally released in 2015. The 12-inch MacBook was ultra-portable, with a fanless design and a single USB-C port. Sure, it had its issues like overheating and the infamous butterfly keyboard, but with Apple's advancements in technology, these problems could be addressed in a new version. Alternatively, Apple could bring back the beloved wedge-shaped design of the MacBook Air, a design that's widely considered one of the best in Apple's history. If Apple combined this design with an M2 chip, 8 gigabytes of RAM, and 128 gigabytes of storage, it could be an incredibly attractive option for those seeking an affordable MacBook. But here's the tricky part. Apple is all about balance, striking that sweet spot between affordability and profitability. Apple's current pricing structure would make a MacBook SE fall somewhere between the $599 Mac Mini with 16 gigabytes of RAM, no display, and the $999 M2 MacBook Air. So, let's say Apple reuses an older chassis, gives it a lower-cost M2 chip, and sticks with 8 gigabytes of RAM and 128 gigabyte storage. A price tag of $699 seems not only reasonable, but perfectly positioned to disrupt the market. Why would Apple even consider launching a $700 MacBook, though? Well, there's a lot of potential in a more affordable MacBook. Windows laptops dominate the budget market, and by offering a budget MacBook, Apple could capture a new audience, especially students and casual users who typically gravitate toward cheaper alternatives. A MacBook SE priced at $699 could become the go-to device for students who need something portable for schoolwork without breaking the bank. It could even appeal to those who might otherwise choose an iPad with a keyboard as a laptop replacement. If Apple were able to create a budget MacBook that doesn't sacrifice on quality, they might just convince these users to make the switch to macOS. Moreover, the rise of Chromebooks in schools makes for another interesting angle. Schools are increasingly relying on these low-cost laptops, and a MacBook SE could easily position itself as a high-quality alternative, with a far more premium feel compared to the typical Chromebook. However, let's not get too ahead of ourselves. While the idea of a MacBook SE sounds great, Apple has not confirmed any plans for such a device. Apple's business model has always favored high profit margins, and launching a sub-$700 MacBook could end up cannibalizing sales of the MacBook Air. Additionally, Apple typically prefers to discount older models rather than release new budget-friendly versions. This is why we've seen the M1 MacBook Air stay on sale for so long, even after the release of the M2 model. So, should you wait for the elusive MacBook SE to arrive? Well, if you're in the market for a budget MacBook, it might be smarter to keep an eye on discounts for existing models, like the M2 MacBook Air. After all, it's already available for as low as $800, and at that price, it's one of the best deals for an Apple laptop. However, if Apple does decide to launch a MacBook SE at $699, it could really shake things up for those looking to get into the Apple ecosystem without paying a premium. So what do you think? Would you buy a MacBook SE for $699? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.